Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman with Skyrim SE Retired Slow Play Part 32. When we last left off, we had finally got a hold of Ariel's bow, and Serana had suggested that we talk to Isran before we went any further. So I'm kind of looking at my map here, trying to figure out how far we got to go, which is quite a way, of course. If you're new to my videos, I do not do fast travel unless there's a problem or something like that. So we do have quite a trek from where we are to where we need to be, which is basically all the way across the continent. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's going to take a few minutes and go talk to Isran about this vampire issue, and I think there's going to be a battle coming up here. And I had completely messed up my what I had in my hands as far as being able to see, no candlelight, so I kind of switched it back so I could make sure that in case we didn't miss any chests or walkways or whatever on the way back out of here. So that's what we're going to do. We're getting close to what I think is the end of this particular see here, we missed nothing basically. I probably already saw this one. We're getting pretty well to the end of this quest line, I think. This is the Dawnguard DLC, which is taking care of a vampire problem. And the vampire problem is that Serana's father wants to basically use some kind of, he has a special prophecy that he's found in which he can remove the daylight so that the vampires can roam as at will 24/7. And so we're trying to stop him is what we're trying to do. And Serena is helping us. And so us meaning the Dawnguard. So we were sent into this cave to find Ariel's bowl, which we did. And so we've got some special arrows and this bow, and it's supposed to help us in some way, I think. Not 100% sure, but we're going to find out if we can ever get out of this cave. And I think I'm getting close to getting out of the cave. So there shouldn't be any creatures or monsters along here. We should have taken care of them all the way. I did get a little lost here, but you know, what would a episode of Rhiannon be without getting lost? So I do it all the time. And I do cut out a good part of it for you so that you don't have to deal with it, so you don't have to see it, because I can't think of anything more boring than watching someone be lost for 25 or 30 minutes. And that happens to me a good part of the time. So, you know, unless it's pertinent to the gameplay, whatever, I will usually remove that part for you so that you can just enjoy the journey with me as opposed to enjoy the frustration with me. So I try to minimize that as much as possible. I don't know why I had a hard time getting out of here. It wasn't that hard, but for some reason I did. But I find my way here in a little bit. And I got Serana with me. And I learned something about Serena, which I didn't really know. Someone mentioned that she does sandboxing, and I'd never heard that term before. Not in relation to a follower. And apparently Serena has special attributes to her in that she will kind of do her own thing on her own when she's idle. So far we have seen her chop wood, we've seen her feed chickens, we've seen her sit down in interesting places waiting for us. She just does all kinds of, I'm just curious what's going to keep happening depending upon the location where we are and she gets idle for a minute. I just think that's really, I mean, I knew that she did that. I didn't know she was unique in the things that she does. Apparently there's mods where you could change other followers to do more of that, but she is unique in this version. as far as I know. This is the special edition, which is the SE part of the title, and it not the anniversary edition, which includes a lot more. I've just decided not to spend the money on that edition, so this is the edition that you're getting from me. And as we make our way out of this cave, I do want to mention that I had a lot of technical difficulties with this episode. I've tried to fix it as much as possible. I had some sound problems. I don't know if I've got a headset going out or what, port going out. I'm not sure what's going on. So I had a lot of stop and starts. So I've tried to fix them all. So if you see any weird glitches or anything like that, I do apologize. Hopefully I fixed everything as much as I could so that it wasn't distracting and annoying for you. I know that when I'm playing, I'm actually I like to be immersed in what I'm doing. It's important to me when I'm playing that I'm completely playing myself. I'm in that world for that period of time, for however long it is. And so when I have technical problems, it drives me crazy. And because I'm recording this, and this is my first ever playthrough recording I've ever done with this series, it annoys me totally because it completely unimmerses me, and that just annoys me a lot. So I'm sorry if you hear or see anything weird. I'll do my best to make that not happen. As you can see, I'm just getting turned around here a little bit, but we'll find our way out. Keep using my, not shooting things, but use my candlelight, my candlelight spell that I finally got. Really does help in these caves where everything is so incredibly dark. I know that in the beginning I probably missed a ton of chests and things or special items because I couldn't see very well. And I have had people tell me that you can change that in the settings, in the console settings, but I choose not to. I'll just do what, I could lighten my monitors. There's lots of things I could do. So I just use candlelight and do it that way. And it's interesting here, and if I hit the right button, we get to pull a chain, and it looks like we have another way out. I wasn't sure. There was a number of pulled chains on the way out that I hadn't seen. So this looks like a different, here, use another mage light. Very interesting here that it had a couple of doors that I didn't think I had seen before. So that was another one. Looks like a little itty bitty shortcut there. We'll take it. Can continue to head on our way out of this cave and then figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do next. There we go. Finally getting our way out of here. So that was quite a long journey to get Ariel's bow. It took a number of episodes and long ones. So it was quite a bit. But we finally found it. And now it's time to, I wanted to take an overview. It's like, okay, what all do we have here? We've got some armor that we probably want to get rid of. We've got Ariel's bow, which I probably think we should hold on to. I'm not a bow user, but I think at least for the time being, we're going to need it. So we'll hang on to it. And it may be a good one to display in our house at some point, because I'm just not a bow user. I never ever have played with a bow. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and they do it quite effectively. But I've always been a magic user, which I think I believe I said in my very first episode that I find that magic users and bow users are basically the same concept. It's using your a bow, using your weapon of choice, whether that be magic or a bow, from a distance, so that you can hit your target from a distance. So to me, it's the same thing. So, but I prefer magic. I'm not very good at it. I'm not a very good fighter, and you've heard me admit that many times, and I'll admit it many times over again. I'm just not. So I've admitted that. That is one reason why I play on very easy, because I want to enjoy this world. I want to enjoy the stories and the people and the immersion aspect of it. I don't want to do it and constantly be dying. That drives me nuts. And how uninteresting would it be for a viewer to watch someone die over and over again? So, this is not a power playthrough at all. This is my journey in this world, is what it is. And honestly, I'm getting very close to the furthest I've ever played this game. I'm coming up upon quests and things I haven't seen before. I think the highest level I've ever had of character was a 17, and I'm just about to go over that. So to me, that's very exciting. That's one reason why I'm doing this this playthrough, is to encourage my own self to continue on and finish it.
I'm surprised my father didn't want to live out here.
I love Serena's comments when she comes to an area that she may have not been to before or whatever. She makes interesting comments. Mud crabs. I recently broke down and purchased Morrowind just simply because I didn't have it. It's not a game that I enjoy very much. I did have it initially when it first came out, and I didn't like it. There's no horses in the game, which was to me a huge part. What the heck? It was a huge part of the world, was the horses, and it didn't have any. And there was just lots of things that I did not care for about Morrowind. So I recently purchased it because it went on sale stupid cheap, and so I decided to go ahead and get it and add it to my collection, so I can officially say that I have them all. So the reason I mention all that is because of the mud crabs in Morrowind. I hated them then and I hate them now. They're just annoying. As far as I know, I've never found anything of value on a mud crab. Crab meat. So, that's pretty much it. So I'm getting turned around a little bit here, but not for long. I'm looking like I'm floating down the river, and it's like, oh my goodness. Let's try not to get too lost. We're heading back, crisscrossing back across the country again. Sometimes when I'm kind of confused and turn around like that, I'll hop off my horse and just, go a distance. And as it turned out, there is vampires here anyways. So it's like, I don't want to kill Serana, and she resurrected something. So it was kind of a good thing I was off my horse. It's funny, it came charging at me because there's settings on the, I don't know if it's convenient horses, I think it is. There's settings there where you can decide its behavior. You can have it fight for and with you. You can have it stay put. You can have it run away. I have mine run away during a fight, so that, because horses can die, and what a nightmare that would be. That would be a reload situation. And if you don't, then you're losing a bunch of stuff and it's a mess. So I decided to have my horse run away during a fight. So that's what he was doing. As you can see in the description, I have 3 different mods. I keep picking up these dead guys. I don't want to do that. That's gross. I got 3 different mods. I have the Unofficial patch, which fixed a whole bunch of stuff. I have the convenient horses, which without that I wouldn't have not even purchased a horse. Mentioned in an early episode that I was so excited about horses because they were amazing in Oblivion. I mean, the best I've ever seen as far as horses are concerned, feeling real. And so I get a horse, and the first time I was playing Skyrim, I was so excited. As soon as I can afford it, I bought a horse, and I rode it up to the College of Winterhold and fell off a cliff because the controls were just terrible. I don't like the look of them. I don't like anything about them. If you have a follower, if you're riding a horse, they get too far behind and they'll give up and go back to their original location. And so I hated it. But then I had seen our beloved Grandma Shirley had this mod, and I noticed that her followers were getting on horses too. So I thought, well, that's cool. That would take half the problem away. Well, I found out that that mod has a lot of other things that make it, thank you, Serana, that make it so much more convenient to have horses. You know, you can, I'm looking around, it's like, where did my horse go? Don't know. So there's just lots of things to it that made it worthwhile for me to go ahead and do that, because then I can mostly enjoy the horses a little bit better than in the vanilla version. And then the last mod that I do have is a quality world map. And what that does is it basically, on the world map, it brings out the roads a lot better so that you can actually see the roads, because if not, there's fog in the way or clouds or whatever the heck, and they just don't stand out very well. I think they did a very poor job with the original map. I just think they did a real poor job. And the quality world map, and I know those of you that have hundreds of mods are saying, yep, they did a terrible job at this, and this. I hate modding the game. That is something that I just have always been against. I've seen so many games destroyed, not necessarily this one, but some games have been destroyed with mods to the point where they won't load, and then you have to go back and unload mods and try to figure it out. I don't want to deal with that much hassle. I love this game as it was originally done. It had these three things, or two things, and some bugs that I needed to. And I think I had an interesting conversation with my son, who I saw recently. He is a game designer by profession, and we were talking about Skyrim, and he goes, well, there's some you just have to have. So we didn't really actually go through that list, his list of which ones that you absolutely have to have. So I'll have to ask him about that, and maybe in a future episode I will give you his opinion of which ones you actually have to have. And I don't know what those are for him. But I've got these three, and I don't plan on adding any more. Of course, when I added two, I said that I only have two, and that's it. Actually, I said I only have one because I didn't realize that the unofficial patch was automatically installed with the special edition. So I didn't realize that until I got to looking at the mod list. Oh, okay, I guess I have that, because someone mentioned that I should put that in my description. And I thought, well, why? And then I found out why when I was looking. It was already there. So, you know, these three mods seem to do what I want it to do. I like to enjoy a game pretty much as it was designed, unless it's impossible to play without making a few changes. I think a great example of that would be Daggerfall. Daggerfall was basically unplayable. Those dungeons were ridiculous, to the point where I never finished the game. I still haven't finished the game. But then fans had ported it over to the Unity engine, and then there's some amazing mods that were done, or I guess it was really one mod that was done by a team that made that game so incredibly beautiful. And I know the first time when I pulled it up and I went into a dungeon, or you start in a dungeon actually, and I pulled that up with the mods, the graphic mods, I was blown away. It looked like almost a modern RPG. It was just really, really well done. So there are occasions, I'll give you that, there are occasions that it's worth it to have some mods that can make a game that nobody will play into a game that lots of people will play. And I keep screwing up here. I keep forgetting that if you click, it wants to put a custom marker. No, I have a custom marker on my house, and I want to leave it there. So I'm just keep looking at my map and my roads to figure out where I am and make sure I'm going in the right direction, because I don't want to get you lost. On our very long trek back to the very southeast side of the map, which is, we're going even south and east of Riften, and that's where Fort Dawnguard is, so that we can have a little chat with Isran, tell him what we found out, show him the bow, and kind of go from there. And I got a level up available. We'll get to that. I don't even know what level I am at this exact moment. It's too bad that there really aren't any good towns on this trek on the way back so that we could sell some stuff. Because I know I do have some stuff I want to get rid of. But we really don't. Rorikstad is like nothing there. And I guess Riverwood is really the closest place. Looks like this we killed all these robbers or whatever, the bandits, and they've come back. So we're gonna have to come back and kill them again, I guess. They don't stay dead. Like, I don't know how long I wish we could get rid of those rocks, because those rocks are a pain in the neck. I mean, once they fall down on you once, it doesn't seem fair that they're in your path and in the way, and there's really no way around that I can see to not run into them. And when you run into them, they hurt you, so it doesn't seem fair at all. I guess there's things that just don't seem fair. And I did not see that the giant that we've been seeing wander around here this trek back. And I got a tip from one of my viewers that if you clean out a giant camp of all the giants, then they respawn eventually. Well, wouldn't that be a pain in the neck? That's a suicide mission. Those giants are awful. But if you have never played Skyrim and you've never walked up to a giant, you definitely should do it once. Oh, by the way, save right before. It's a funny, amusing experience the first time, and then you never want or need to do it again after that. It's just annoyance. So I avoid them as much as possible. In what we just did, finding Ariel's bow, as you can saw, we came across a frost giant. I think actually 2 of them that we came across. And they're huge, and even playing on very easy mode, they're very difficult to kill. You've got to be careful. And I showed you in a previous episode that a giant in one hit obliterated Serana. She vanished, disintegrated. I don't know where she went. She's essential, so I don't know where she got sent to. I don't know when or where she would have shown back up, so I just saved and reloaded. So it was quite amusing that happened, but with one blow he just completely disintegrated her. So you can imagine what it would do to you as your character. So I just kind of avoid giants at all costs. I don't need or want to kill them. So it seems like to me there's been a giant along here, but this time there's not a giant. There's just some guy walking along with these weird painted cows. It's like very strange. So interesting what you see as you travel along in this vast and beautiful and varied world. And if you are a first-time watcher, I also, along with my no fast travel, I try not to travel at night. And as you can see, I've had to travel at night. I don't have to. I mean, I could have stayed in the cave or slept outside the cave till morning. But if I come out of a ruin or something and I need to go somewhere, I won't wait or sleep. I'll go ahead and make my way. It's not an absolute not travel at night, but I try not to. If I'm near an inn or near one of my houses, I'll go ahead and stay the night, just so that I can travel during the day. And when I get to my house, no matter, I kind of judge it on when I go to sleep so that I can wake up in the morning and head out the next morning early. That's just my rules for my playing, for my immersion purposes. Constantly checking because I hate it when I make a wrong turn. I also will sprint as much as possible to speed up this process for you. I also put, as well as I can, chapter markings in my descriptions so that you can skip certain things. If you don't want to watch someone traverse across the country, you can skip ahead. But I do encourage you to watch it. It is exactly what the description says. It is a slow playthrough. There's no power playing here. This is an immersion situation where I'm enjoying the ride right now. It's like, oh, how fun, how beautiful. It's like, where am I trying to go? And as I've mentioned many times, if I am in the area, I will stop by my house. And one thing that I was very much needing to work on my house some more was a couple of things. One was glass, which I'm pretty sure that the only real place that you find a significant amount of it is it in a general store, a general merchant. And the other thing I need is straw. And the straw was for making beds. So I need to make a couple of beds for some children I wanted to adopt. And the glass I needed for display cases. So I really needed that, need some of that. And as the past couple of episodes, you may have seen me purchasing those items from the general merchants. And I realized here I had completely missed my turn and went the wrong way. I wanted to go by my house and I went the wrong way. So it's like, Serena, backtrack. So anyway, I was picking up those two items so that I can continue working on my house. If you haven't watched before, we are building the Lakeview Manor house, and it's not anywhere near done, which to me, I'm sorry that someone was yelling for help. You're going to have to deal with it yourself, guys, because I don't want to stop. They're wolves, no big deal. At least it wasn't a giant or something. So I'm not super close to being done, but it's coming along quite well. I'm very happy with how far we've gotten, but I did want to get those beds made, and I wanted to get some of the display cases made. I'm not ready to start displaying things necessarily. I think I did put in a rack for staves, and I put the staff of Magnus there, I think it is, because I'm not going to use it anymore, but it does make a nice display item. And I've got a few other things like that. I wanted to get my display cases started, and I know I don't have enough to do them all, but I had enough to get started. So that's one reason why I want to stop by my house this time and do as much building as I can with the things that I've picked up so far. And also I kind of want to run over what else do I need to finish it so I can keep an eye out for those things in our travels. And I know I need a whole bunches of amulets that we are really short on. Oh, look at this. Look at you. How rude of you. And you don't get ignored. It doesn't say a thief. I'm sorry, I kind of exploded your... I tried to explode your horse. Look at that. She's tough. I mean, I hit her, a horse exploded on her, and Serana hit her. And man, she was tough. I don't know who she is or why she attacked us. And here we are with too much weight. It's like, really? So, it's like, take a quick look here and see. We're not too far from our house, but still, I don't want to have to not be able to run. It's just too slow. It said that if you're too slow to run, so, I'm going to give you a couple things here.
Alright, let's see what you have.
See, she's not as rude. She has one rude comment that she'd make, but Mercurio was always rude when you handed him something. So anyway, I'm kind of taking a look here and saying, what can I give her? And there's things that we could probably drop. You're probably looking at my list going, why does she still have that? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll need it sometime. I'm afraid to put things away. I'm afraid to drop things that, I know you can't get rid of quest items, but what if I ended up back somewhere and I need it? So I always carry way too much stuff. So I just gave her one thing, I think, and that got me enough so we can run. And every once in a while, I really ought to check her when I'm in a shop or something, in case she's carrying along things that I had meant to sell. I'm not very good with inventory management with a follower. I don't do as good a job as I should. I always give them the dragon bones after we kill a dragon, but I tend to not be very good remembering what they are carrying, especially when I'm in a merchant that I'm trying to sell stuff. And so I need to be better about that. So I'm making a mental note to check your follower a little more often. So I'm looking here trying to figure out how far am I from away from my house to go past the mill and then kind of veer to the looks like the left. The mill is where I'm getting my wood. I think I've got sufficient wood. I don't know if I'm going to have to buy any more. I probably should check my inventory on that. as far as what's left. I know we do need quite a bit more iron ore or iron ingots. I know that we need glass. I know that we need straw. So at some point, I will actually make a physical list. I use Microsoft OneNote for my gaming notes, and I actually have a gaming notebook, and then each notebook has a section that for any particular game that I'm playing. Skyrim, I don't need to make a whole lot of notes because it has a pretty good journal that keeps track of things, who you've talked to, which quest you've completed. So I don't need it as much, but when I get close to the point of what do I need, what's left that I need to finish my house, I will make a physical list so that when and I'll keep it up on my screen, my other monitor, so that when I'm out and about, I can see, do I need, like right now, I know I have too many amulets of standars. I think I've already created the shrine in my basement for that, but I think I have 2 extra ones. So what I'll need to do is make a list of which ones do I need, so that when I find one, and then I go to a merchant, I can either sell it if I want to, or if I need to hang on to it and bring it back home. I'm always careful when I'm coming up to my home, because oftentimes there's creatures out here. There could be wolves, there could be thieves or bandits, and every once in a while there's a giant that shows up outside my house. So I always try to be really careful when I'm coming up the side, just in case. I really don't wish to die outside my house. If, of course, Serana would help me fight, and if Balamund is outside, Balamund will also fight. And I come in here, and what I do, this is the chest that has everything in it. It has all of the stuff to give my kids, all of the stuff that I am using to build the house, asking for money.
Here, this is your
and Balamund shares money. I love him. He's 400, gave me half. So I love it that Balamund shares his
looking to protect yourself
stuff, the profit of his business with me. I don't know if any of the other characters do that. So I've been trying to buy his ingots, and it gives money in his pocket, and I get part of that. You can also sell your stuff to Balamund. So am I thinking correctly, I should do that more often before. So I'm giving him all these arrows that aren't needed and aren't worth anything. Got to hang on to them elven ones, and because apparently we need them for something. But it's cool that I can sell him this stuff. This armor, I just hate wearing armor from monsters. I probably should keep it. It's good armor, but I just don't. I don't want to. I don't like to wear armor that from creatures. So it's kind of cool that I can sell him stuff and buy iron ingots from him, or whatever kind of ingots I need for crafting my house. Because up to that point, before I got him here, look at this. I could do the arcane enchanter now, so I can build this because I needed glass for it, and I can build an alchemy lab. So those are 2 things that I really wanted to add to the house, and now that I had purchased the glass, I was able to do that. So I was very excited. And this one, you can see I'm needing hinges, so I'm making a mental note here of I need to go craft some hinges so that I can finish making those 2 display cases from that particular workbench. There's multiple workbenches around the house. One problem that I did have was when you remove them, I'm not 100% sure which ones I can remove, so I end up going back and forth a couple times. One thing I added to my house a while back is I put an anvil in the house, so I don't have to go outside to create the building materials every time. So that was kind of a nice thing to have in the house, so that I could come to this central location, centrally located in the house, and build a couple things here. So hinges and nails and locks and fittings and all those things are just, you can make them right there. So those are a lot of things that you use. You can see my alchemy table's off to the left, and there's a satchel next to it. So after a while, we're going to show how we can store our ingredients there. So it's very convenient if you're going to get into alchemy. As you can see, I can now build a display case and a display case with a low table that I created those items. On this menu, the only thing that's left is some mounted creatures, and I don't have the whatever I like, the slaughterfish. I don't have it yet, so that's the only thing left on that particular workbench that I can create. So after you're done creating that, then you can remove that workbench. So I would have a hard time figuring out because you remove the workbenches from outside. I wish they had a remove the workbench from the workbench right here, but you don't. So right now, because I have the straw that I picked up, I'm able to create those 2 single beds, and that's for the 2 children that I'm going to adopt. And right now I'm just doing as much stuff as I can from this workbench, and it doesn't only put things in this little bedroom, it's putting things in other places around the house. And I noticed, okay, I can do a couple chandeliers, so that's great. Those come from goat horns. I did purchase goat horns last time I found them. Right here I'm looking at and saying, what do I need? Nails, iron fittings. So I'm just kind of making a note, I need more things. As you can see now, the children have beds to sleep in. So that's wonderful that we could do that, because those beds are there, we are going to be able to adopt children. And for me, that's part of the immersion. I love little kids running around the house, and the house gets pretty full after a while, because eventually I'm going to get a steward. Eventually you also can have, I don't remember what those guys are that sing. They can sing for you and play music. So it just makes this feel so much like a home. And I like that. And I only have done this with one home. I've never created, I don't know if you can have multiple stewards in multiple houses. I've never tried that, because I generally have one house that is my main house. And that's where I display items. That's where the kids live. That's where the spouse lives. That's where that's just the place. The other houses to me are just extra places to sleep. Very expensive places to sleep. But like I mentioned in a previous episode, what are you going to do when you have hundreds of thousands of gold and you don't spend it on anything? Enchanting costs gold, but not that much. Not hundreds of thousands. So the only other thing to spend it on is houses. So since I haven't played much further than where I am right now, what I'm envisioning for myself is that I will eventually buy other houses. I may build other houses. I haven't decided yet. In the anniversary edition, there's all kinds of other houses you can get. I don't have the anniversary edition, so it's no big deal. I think we'll end up with plenty of houses around the globe. Iron fittings. I need more and more and more iron fittings. So eventually I think that I'll end up buying all the houses that I can build, that I can get, and just for places to sleep and things to spend the gold on. As you can see, there's more there's more items, there's more shelves and things that are popping up around the house from that particular workbench. Fills in this area that we just saw. That was the master bedroom there. It also fills the area that we just see up above there. So I'm going the wrong way. I need more iron fittings. It's like, oh, what am I doing? There's also a kitchen off there to the right, so whatever we need to build in there, we'll need stuff for. And if you walk by there, oftentimes you'll see that Ballamund is there cooking. So he does everything. He runs a business, and he cooks, and he sells me iron ingots, and he just does all kinds of stuff. He's a wonderful spouse to have. And he's particularly handy if you want to build a house. So he's a good one. I selected him. I actually spent time researching the various spouses, and I particularly like the male spouses for myself. So I kind of was looking at which ones were available, and for me, he's the best. And so that's why I select him most of the time. So I was trying to focus on the specific workbenches. I knew that I kind of had done pretty much everything that I can do on the one that's at the bottom of that stairs without having whatever it is that I need to finish them. Again, I haven't made a list. You can see now we have display tables here and a couple of cabinets, and a bookshelf there, other shelves that are starting to pop up around. So now we can do a dresser and 2 wardrobe things. So we get those knocked off, and we can do another chandelier. And so now we just got mounted creature items that we still need to, we need a wolf pelt, we need a couple of things. And so basically there's 2 workbenches that I'm done with. Now it's not saying I'm going to remember that. It looks like she knocked something off there. I'll have to put that back. But it's not saying I'm going to remember that I don't need to use those 2 workbenches anymore. I'll probably go back to them again, but it's like I forget. So I don't really need that one and that one anymore, because the only thing left on them is the creatures that I don't have the pelts. And see, I already checked again. So I'm doing it again. Like, oh, what are you doing? I need to check the kitchen. So what's left in the kitchen the kitchen workbench. We also have items on the basement area that we can still build out. And I wanted to check that. I knew we needed some glass for that to build the aquariums. And that is an addition that was an add-on that came with the special edition. Whenever the anniversary edition came out, they added some things. And one of them was, look at that, I can build the Shrine of Karnath now because I have the flawless sapphire. Previous playthroughs, that is the one thing I never could find. And someone told me about it is in the last quest we were working on, that I could find one there, and I did. I found 1 flawless sapphire. If I'm not mistaken, that is the one and only flawless sapphire I've ever found in the game in 11 years. So I was very excited to find that. So I was able to build a few things here. A child's practice dummy. This is adorable. If you build that, you'll find your kids down here sometimes practicing with the practice dummy with a sword. So I'm building these fish tanks. It looks like I still need some quarried stone that I have right outside. There's a place where I can get it. I still need some iron fittings, a hinge, still ingots. So I know I can buy them from Balloman sometimes. And I have some, but not enough. So I'm just kind of making a mental note. I'm getting close to the things. And there's that awful rat. And it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to double check. I had picked up a couple of diseases from something. As you can see that I'm building there's a base here with all the various shrines, and I like the Shrine of Mara. So I click on it, and then I'll show you here that it takes away those diseases that I had. So they are gone. I love having the shrine area in my house. And in previous builds, I've done everything, but I believe all but one shrine. So that's cool that you can have all these. There's my Shrine of Cinders. I think I have 4 that are done. So we have a lot more to do on those. So I wanted to take a quick stroll down this area that gets added. That was as a result of the anniversary edition. It's very nice that they included that for the standard edition, I thought, to give me extra stuff. So it builds this whole extra area here with all of these aquariums. And I haven't used the aquariums yet, but I was very interested to see the various, you can have fish plaques, so you can put up fish that you've caught. Small fish tank, large fish tanks. I think this is an interesting area, and I'm curious what it will look like once it's all built out and I start putting fish in there. So I really love this area. It's too bad there was no other place to put them upstairs, but I get it. The basement was really the only easy place to do that add-on. So interesting area there. And we'll continue working on it and fill it out. And we definitely need to get some light down there because it's pretty dark. So back upstairs we go. Thought I might want to check around here. Oh yes, and I need to build a few more. And I've got, how many? I have 21 ingots left over. So I thought I might build the things that I made note of, that I saw for sure that I needed. And I don't want to overbuild and I don't want to underbuild. I want to build exactly the amount that I need. So getting kind of low on my ingots, but that's okay. We'll buy more from Balloman when he has them. And this is the kitchen add-on. And I thought, well, let's see what we got left. Oh, good. We could do a couple of chandeliers. And we still need some elk antlers. Do some more lighting. Awesome. So we need more quarried stone and some large antlers. I know I needed quarried stone, and at some point we'll come back and do that. Right outside the house, there is a stone quarry where we can go out there and bang away and pick up some more quarried stone. And I also wanted to check this workbench to see what are we missing here. It's like, oh cool, I can build some more display tables. So that was cool. Again, I need some more goat horns, but I need elk antlers, hides, saber tooth. So there's a few things that we need, and I need to make a note of that so I can start collecting those things. Excuse me, Serana. She's always, and you can see the things that I have put up are there now. So it's time to store our items. It's too bad it doesn't say house building stuff. Because you have to go through here, and I miss things half the time. I find them later, so I didn't really need that. So just kind of put them away until we know if we need them or not, because I had just collected them along the way. I'm going to probably display that blade of woe, so I'm just sticking things. I'm putting everything in here. There's some clay right there. We need that and some quarried stone. It's like, put that away. I know I can adopt children. What I'm doing, the reason why I passed by some of the jewelry is that now that we have an enchanting station, we can put anything that we want to enchant in there. And I also have an alchemy station, so now I can put ingredients in the area right by the alchemy station. So we're going to be separating this out a little bit. So this in theory would be just a place to store building materials. I'm also currently going to put the items for the children. I love giving the children gifts. It gives me a bump, and then the children are happy too. And that was an accident that closed, by the way. So I thought I had put something. I was going. I know that I missed something, and I went back here. And I knew they hadn't put everything away. I think I hit the close by mistake. It's so easy to do when you're rushing, and I was definitely rushing. It's like, don't hit that key. Oh no. Slows me down. So we got some flawless amethysts. Some very, very nice. And I was not trying to equip that item. I was hitting the wrong button. So I'm putting my flawless gems away. I'll sell the rest of them, but flawless ones, I want to hang on to them because I don't know what I need. I don't know what I'll need. Yeah, and I know what I was doing is I had accidentally put some ingredients in there. And so I got only 7 glass left, so I really need to pick up some more. We need more. So I accidentally had put some ingredients in there, and that's what I wanted to save out. So I went back in to get them. So I'll get it straightened out. There's those hawk feathers that supposedly you can eat, and they restore your health. And so just putting a few things away. I don't know how long I'll carry around the Initiate's Ewer, because I don't think I ever need it again. It's like, oh my gosh, I tend to carry way too much stuff. Right now you can see I'm overloaded, but that's, I'm carrying all the building materials with me, so we'll get rid of some of that, and that should lighten the load enough so that I can at least walk quicker. There's my locks. You need locks for building, for now anyway. I need them for safes that I think we can build downstairs. So when we get enough, all the rest of the building materials, we'll be able to use those. So I haven't overmade them so far. I'm gonna get all these. I don't even know if you need those or not, but I'm gonna keep them anyway. Oh no, go back and get the pearl. See, I was clicking on the chest and it closed. That happens all the time, and I don't know why. It's very annoying though when you click on something and it thinks you're clicking, or it clicks something else. So anyway, very frustrating. But the children's, I missed that the first time, but the girls' dresses away. And so eventually I'll give them to them. Eventually we'll move the children's items to other areas, but I think that they oftentimes run up to me in here, in this main entryway when I come in. So I want to have whatever I'm going to give them nearby so that I can give them their gifts, and makes them happy, makes me feel happy. And so those Reaper gem fragments, I'm not sure where we got those from. It seemed like it was somewhere that we may go back to. I'm not sure. Still got to go up to the Mages College. We got a lot of things to do. But I was kind of focused on taking care of this vampire problem soon. So that's why I'm making some back and forth treks. But we need to pick up some more quests in other areas. And we will get to it. Small antlers. We need to get some large antlers. And I hate killing those beautiful deer to get them. But if I don't come across dead ones soon, I'm going to have to pick them up because we need a number of them. I hate doing that, but I want to finish my house more than I hate doing that. No, it's not a bad armor, but I don't think she will wear it. I want to enchant. I read something that if she has on her original armor, that's when she puts her hood up when she goes somewhere outside. And if you have a different armor, she doesn't. So now it's time to put the ingredients in a little satchel next to the alchemy table. So that's pretty easy. I click on ingredients and it pops up all the ingredients. So this satchel, I don't know if it has a limit on how much it can hold. I've never come across a limit on it, at least as far as I've played. But this, and I wanted you to note here, for the first time ever, I'm taking out the nerd roots and putting them in the ingredients. Is that awesome? I'm so good. And so that was the alchemy table. The enchanter is upstairs and to the right here in the corner. And I use this cabinet instead of one of these sacks. I use this cabinet for storing items that I plan to enchant or disenchant. So that's what I'm going to look here and see what I can use here. So daggers are one thing, and I've been told that to increase your enchanting to save daggers. So I may start reminding myself, oh, I wanted to see if I can disenchant those stabs. I didn't know because I've never really done much enchanting, and it looks like I can't. So yeah, I can't. So anyway, that tells me I can sell those, but I know I have items that I can disenchant. So it's like, okay, let's take a look here. And things that I want to enchant. So again, I am really a novice when it comes to using the enchanting, and eventually I will. I think I'll get into it a little bit, but that's why I've saved these necklaces and rings that we found, especially the ones that are worth quite a bit. I could sell them, but we're not hurting for gold. We've got over 33,000 right now. And I stuck these items in there, which I shouldn't have done, the shrouded items, because you can't disenchant them. Because they didn't, at least I don't think. So I wasn't sure, but I wanted to get rid of some of these things that I had. So I get it out of my inventory and out of that chest downstairs. I'm going to put away this vampire armor. It is my eventual goal that eventually I can enchant some armor, some better armor. And just taking a quick look, anything else that we can enchant or disenchant. Eventually, if we start getting a backlog of these soul gems, which we have quite a few, soul gems are used for enchanting, so maybe at some point I'll start being more active.
Yes.
I think I wanted to check with her and check her items, her armor.
This better not be all the things you just can't be bothered
Now,
with.
Serana, do I ever give you things that I just don't want to be bothered with? Of course I don't. It's always important stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and give her that and then check her. And
All right, let's see what you have.
seriously. And she did not put the armor on. So if it had been better armor than she was currently wearing, she would have put it on. That's my understanding of what happens when you give them either weapons or armor. They immediately put it on. So I was just double checking here to see what have I got. I don't know. I think I gave her those arrows because I was really confused on the situation of where she could do something to the arrows, and I wasn't sure which arrows she should have. I wasn't sure what she does to them. So anyway, the wooden sword, I wanted to put that in there because I don't know if that's the same thing as the toy sword, but I wanted to pop it in there just in case, because I'm not going to need it. So, guys.
Oh, what is it? If you think it'll help.
So she's still using a sword that we gave her. And I thought she's a dagger person sometimes. And so I wanted to give her that dagger to see if she would use it. And then I'm going to take a quick look here. So we've got quite a few staves that we can sell. Oh, and that, ugly looking, I'm not going to wear that. I don't wear ugly looking stuff. I'll display it. So I'm looking at that mask I decided to put away. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, but why carry it with me? I hate it that my pack gets so full of things. It's like, So I'm just doing a once over, seeing if there's anything that we can dump here. We got lots of books we don't need and lots of miscellaneous stuff, but we need a lot of it, so I'll pare this down a little bit more at a later time. So now they're blocking the doorway. So I back up so that hopefully Serana will follow me, so they will unblock the doorway. It's like, excuse me, get out of the way. Yes, it is good to see you too. Could you get out of the doorway? So this time I back up and like, come on, Serana. There she goes. That's the reason why I was backing up.
Yes,
Come on,
love.
get out of the way. He's so sweet. Yes, love. So I check, and it's actually only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I have nothing else that I need or want to do. So I figured, let's go ahead and sleep until morning. And that's exactly what I did. Again, I like to get up in the morning, early mornings, and take off. And so we need to get going here. And when you sleep in your bed when you're married, you get lover's comfort, which gives you, I believe it's 15% faster improvement of your
Good to see you,
skills
dear.
for 8 hours or something like that. So just checking my route and figuring out where am I going. I'm going to go up through Helgen. Again, we're heading back to the Fort Dawnguard to talk to Isran and show him that we found Ariel's bow. And then it's like, oh yes, I do have a level up. I'm currently a 15, and so it's time to go to 16. And I'm debating here. It's like, which one? Which one? Let's go with Magicka and get it up to 200. I generally alternate between Magicka and health. Every once in a while I'll do a stamina. So I got my Magicka and my health after being bumped at 200, which is nice. I was just checking here. It's like, yeah, I need to get to 50 on lockpicking before I can bump that up again. That's something I was paying attention to. And my other one that I really do look at is course destruction, but I don't think I'm not quite high enough to bump it up in, like right there. I'm too away from being able to augment my flames, which is, flames and ice or frost. I'm not sure which one I'd have to look at, are the two that I focus on. And so that's what I end up using with my perks. As you could saw there, I had 3 perks. I'm getting a backlog of them again, but we'll get in some more ruins and do some more lock picking and to help us out here. And look at these 2 fine ladies dressed alike, heading off for some more adventure. Again, we're going to go through Helgen, which is a shortcut through the mountain, so you don't have to go around the mountain to get south to the Riften area. And I still don't know why that I got stuck on a rock or something. It was weird, right? I still don't know why that the path around the outside of Helgen, I still don't understand why. Coming from this way, I don't see that path. And I keep asking you guys, if you know why it's this way, why I have to go actually through Helgen and not around it, coming from that way. But if I'm coming from the other direction, I can go around it. That's baffling to me. So if you know the answer to that question, if you know what I'm talking about, please make a comment below, because that bugs me. So I don't even think about it anymore. If I come up this way, I know it's going to happen. I know I got to go through this shack, run through the hole in the shack, run around the side, go around the area that I did when I was very first brought to Helgen, when the dragon came down, go up these stairs, go through this burnt building, go out the other side. So I don't know why that I have to do this when I was able to go around Helgen coming from the other way. It's like, what? Why? Don't understand. So anyway, I run up a little bit ahead and then call my horse, which is stuck on the other side of that burned out building. Poor guy was probably wandering around trying to figure out why I'd left him. Anyway, I don't even think about it, I just do it, but it's annoying. I don't understand it. I don't like things that I don't understand. If I can understand why, I can let it go. And stop complaining to you guys about it. I don't like to complain to you guys about it. And a lovely crisp morning with a little bit of snow coming down. It's the one thing that I do dislike so much about Skyrim, is that it has all these cold, snowy areas. I hate it. It makes me feel cold. I swear that's one of the reasons why I quit playing every time. I saw someone else had mentioned that they get bored and have quit about at the same level. I saw it on a Reddit post the other day, and I thought, I do the same thing. I don't know if I get bored so much. I'm not sure why.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
I don't know. I'm just not sure. But I'm hoping that we can push through and I can move forward. Once we get past the Dawn Guard quest line, I'm just not sure where we'll go next. It seems to me that it might be good to run around to some of the towns and pick up a bunch of quests in each of the towns and get us moving around the map more, especially the part that I've been ignoring, which is the far northwest. I hate that part of the map, and I know that once the Civil War is on, there's some things that you can't do anymore, some quests that you can't complete. I don't know which ones they are, but I read that somewhere along the last 12 years. So I think what it might be wise to do is start picking up some of the quests in the towns and kind of transversing the map while completing some of those quests before we get into the Civil War, which changes a lot of things. So that is what I think we'll probably do next. There's a lot, there's no way that I know of to make sure that you complete 100% of the quests. For one thing, I destroyed the Dark Brotherhood. That's a spoiler alert from a previous episode. So I destroyed the Dark Brotherhood, so obviously I can't do the Dark Brotherhood quests. I refused to join the Thieves Guild, so obviously I'm not going to do the Thieves Guild quests. So I'm not sure how to figure out. I don't know if there's a way in-game or a way outside the game to see how much you've completed. I've heard people claim that they've completed 100% of the quests in Skyrim. So I'm curious how they know that. How did they figure that out? So if you know how a person can figure that out, let me know. I know I won't be able to because I'm not going to do the Thieves Guild and such. But I'm just curious. How do they know? How can they find out? Does it show somewhere? So just checking my map, make sure I'm going the right way. Even though I'm pretty good coming down this way, I don't get lost too much coming down to Riften because I've traversed back and forth between there so many times. I'm starting to not have to check my map too much, but occasionally I will, just in case. I don't want to show you guys me getting lost. Poor Rhiannon, she has no sense of direction, which is not like my real life self. I have a good sense of direction with my real life self. I have traversed across this country a number of times with a paper map, and if I can do that, then I should be able to find my way around this particular world, but I do struggle sometimes, so it annoys me. Anyway, off subject, sorry. So just trudging along as often as I can. I will sprint my horse until I run out of stamina to kind of speed it along. And that's also one reason why I increase my stamina occasionally. I don't know how many times I get to go up in levels. So that's why I focus on my health in Magicka, because that's what I use, right? So I probably shouldn't focus so much on my health, just because I've got potions and I tend to play on very easy and I don't get hurt that much. It's very rare for me to get my health down terribly low. It's happened a few times, but it's a rare thing. And so I probably should pay more attention to my stamina, just because it will let me run longer. I don't know what else it does. I think, if I'm not mistaken, stamina is your carry weight. I'll have to double check that. Oh, sorry dude, didn't mean to run into you. I think it's your carry weight, which would be a good reason to improve it, so I can carry more while I'm in a ruin. But I also have a follower that I keep forgetting to give stuff to. And I forgot, she's got a bunch of dragon bones on her too. So it's like, don't forget the dragon bones. I don't plan on making dragon armor or anything, so I'm going to sell them for the most part. And so far, we haven't really come across a whole lot of dragons. And I don't know, I thought that I had come to the same place where I have in the main quest line, where there are where there's plentiful dragons that are around, but I'm just not seeing them. So I guess I'm going to have to further that quest line a little bit more. I had waited because I didn't want to do the next part, but maybe if I do, there'll be more dragons. And of course the purpose of that would be to get more dragon bones and to get, but more importantly, to get more dragon souls, so I can open up more of the shouts. That's what you use the souls for. I've got a few souls saved up, and I'm slowly collecting shouts from the word walls. But you know, those things that we've been doing, we haven't been coming across very many. As you can see, I've come across the backside of Riften. I don't like to go in that door. I always come around to the stables because I like to know that's where my horse is, and it usually when I'm leaving, it just gives me a better frame of reference rather than sticking my horse out back and figuring out where the heck I am when I come into the city. I like to go in via the stables, because I don't even know where those other doors go to. So I get lost enough without making myself get lost purposely. And don't run into the trees here. And as we had noticed, we had a few things that we could sell, so we're going to go in here and check that out real quick. Since we're here, got a lot of Daedric quests that we can do. We've got that beacon thing that we've got, and we've got a hint that we can go check out another Daedric shrine that I believe is the Azura's. Now here's Madesi. Madesi buys gems, right? But it's like, where are they? Miscellaneous. I clicked on miscellaneous and you saw it go away. How annoying is that? So we've got some amethysts, some garnets, some rubies that we can sell. There we go. Got rid of a few items, picked up some gold. And then I remembered Madesi had a quest that we could do. So if we asked Madesi about making their own jewelry, they mentioned this, that he has trouble getting some items. So I knew there was a quest here that had something to do with some gems. So sure, we'll get it. So now we need to find and bring two flawless sapphires, a mammoth tusk, and a chunk of gold ore. Do you see that? 2 flawless sapphires. That does not seem fair. Flawless sapphires. It took me forever to find one. And now we need 2 to finish that quest. That does not seem fair. So, what can we sell this gentleman? We've got these ice spikes that we picked up in our last quest. They're worth 200 each, so we're going to get rid of them. And then we run out. He runs out of gold. I was looking for something worth 100 or so that we could get rid of, that we don't need. And really, here's some paper. You take that. Is he a general? I don't know if he's a general merchant or not. Then we'll double check her. She generally buys weapons and armor. She's so rude. I hate dealing with her, but she's here. She's convenient. She buys all kinds of things, I guess. I don't know about that diamond paragon. I don't know what that's for. I think there's a whole bunch of quests in that last area we were that we could have done. I don't think we picked up the quests. They're not in our quest line, but I don't think those items weigh anything, so I don't know. It's like I should have broken this down into, there we are, staffs. So I'm keeping the staff of firebolt. That's a nice backup.
Come back. You're ready to spend more gold. Goodness knows I could use it.
It's like, okay, next thing we need to do is go talk to Isran. So let's go do that. So off we go. We're gonna go talk to Isran. Show him our fancy dancy bow that we found finally. You can see how much I love it when I can see my hair. I hate it when you put a helmet on, or, you know, could have put that mask on or whatever. I don't like it. And, you know, it's part of the immersion thing for me. It's like, I want to see my hair. I don't want to look like, well, what Ultima, I used to play the Ultima games, the Ultima game series, and there was one that, I think it's Ultima, oh gosh, Ultima 8? I think it was Ultima 8, where your character has a helmet on its head. You can't tell that it's a female, you can't see the face, nothing. I hated that game for that purpose, well, there's a lot of reasons, but that was the main reason, is like, I couldn't see myself. I want to see myself, you know? I like to see myself. I don't like to see myself riding this horse. I really do like first person. I want to see myself when I want to see myself, and I hated it. That's another reason I hated horses in Oblivion, is that you are forced into being able to see yourself, and I don't like that. That's my thing. I love Oblivion. I highly encourage you, if you have not, to play Oblivion. After all of these years, it's still a wonderful, beautiful game to play, even if you play it vanilla. And at some point, I've been thinking about doing a playthrough of it here. I've seen some playthroughs, and they're different than my playthrough style, and I think it's worthy to do it at some point. So, starting with Skyrim, I figured by the time I'm finished with this, we will only have maybe 5 years left till the next Elder Scrolls game comes out. Who knows? At the recording of this particular video, we have not heard diddly squat about that. We have no idea when it's coming out. We've been told it is. We just don't know when. We know nothing about it. It's funny, if you get on YouTube and you look at Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever, I love all of the people that post videos of what they think they know. It's like I immediately watch 30 seconds of it and go off of it, even though that's rude because I don't like people doing that to my videos. It makes me aggravated. It's like, you don't know anything. You're just trying to get viewers on your channel. It's like, nobody really knows. The only thing we know is that there was a trailer for it. We've been told it's coming. And the thing is, just because we've been told it's coming doesn't mean that it is. So, whatever. This is my way of waiting, is to play through Skyrim. So, that's what I'm going to do. So, what does Isran have to say now? Let's see what Isran has to say. Yes.
Ariel's bow.
That was a tough thing, dude.
I heard it described in tales, but I could never have
And it is
imagined
quite
its
beautiful.
beauty. Indeed. The day hasn't been won while Harkon still walks Tamriel. But what of Serana? Can she be
I like it
trusted
that
to
he's
lift the
calling
load
her
against
by her
own
name
kind?
instead of it.
Her own
That's a nice change of pace, Isran.
I suppose that's as much
Yes,
as I
it
can
is the
hope
best you
for.
can hope for, I guess,
Let me
because
address the
you're so
Dawn Guard
doubtful.
and then we'll be off. The men deserve to know
Okay,
that we finally
so
won
now
the upper hand.
he's going to talk to the
Everyone,
entire
gather
Dawn
round.
Guard.
Come on then. We haven't got all day.
And I didn't remember what was going on here. It's like, what is going on? And Serana's not in here with me. I don't know why. It's like, okay, what happened there that she's not there? So I was kind of backing up and looking and saying, who's here? Are we waiting on someone? Am I supposed to talk to Isran again? Where's Serana? So that's why I was kind of looking around a lot here. I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on. Again, I've only gotten to this point once in 11 years. Well, whenever that
This one day,
additional
knew.
content came out.
no
And I
one
thought
really
maybe I needed to ask something. And so there's nothing here new that I needed to ask. And when you ask to help, he gives you a daggone quest. It's like, no, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to further, I thought I needed to say something to further this conversation. So instead I ended up with a new quest. Like,
For too
okay.
long, we've
Or a
allowed
task, I should say. I'm
vampires
supposed to talk to
poison the
someone.
night and kill
So
our
here we
people.
are. Isran is
Now,
addressing the Dawn Guard.
We finally have the means to strike back. We now have Ariel's bow. The gods themselves have favored us, and we must answer with action. The time has come to finally put an end to Harkon and his unholy prophecy. We will march on their lair and destroy those wretched abominations so they can no longer corrupt our world. This is our fight, and this is our fate. This is the time.
Time of the Dawn Guard. Yay! Everybody's cheering.
This is it.
Hold between the eyes for me. Send the troll after them.
It's time we take the fight to their door.
Okie dokie.
Gather your things and rest well, my friend. We meet outside.
And we're going to
Castle.
meet him outside of Castle Volcar, or whatever it is.
Stay alert.
So we're supposed to confront Harkon with Ariel's bow. That is our next thing that we're supposed to do in this quest line. So we spoke to Serana or Isran, and the very next thing is we need to go to his castle. And as Serana put it one time, kick his door in. I thought that was a pretty interesting way of putting it. So, we've asked her multiple times about this. Are you sure that, your father is probably going to die in this situation. And she keeps saying, I've inspected that. It's like, this now is a really good time to save. I don't trust my autosaves. I have, when I first started recording, I completely screwed up with quick saves because I realized I had made a mistake and I couldn't go back and I had to start over again. So live and learn, I suppose. And amusingly, you hear me mention Grandma Shirley almost every episode. I just admire her so much. But she mentioned that she had done that same thing with one of her characters. That what she does is create characters and a story for those characters and acts out that story within Skyrim, which I think is just a wonderful idea. Very creative and amazing for an 86-year-old person. But she mentioned that she had done quick saves over past a point where she couldn't go back where she had wanted to go, and so it reminded me I need to do a new save. I can always go back in and delete them later when I have too many, and I do that. I go into my computer itself and go into the save file, and what I end up doing, I keep the initial save of any save that I've done. I keep the initial one, but then I will go back and delete. At first I go back and delete every other one after that, so that I only have half the saves. Because you see me, I'll save, save, which you gotta do, because it's, things happen or you make mistakes or whatever. If you're playing on a harder level, you'll die over and over again. But that's how I pare them down, by deleting every other one. And then I'll go back in and do that again to kind of get rid of them, because you just don't need them all. They take up a lot of space. And there's Serena. So I don't know if that was purposeful that she waited out here.
It sounds like that's the last bit of the prophecy.
The blood of the daughter Cold Harbor can corrupt.
So I am. I guess we could use my blood. Do you have any arrows? Elven arrows?
Okay, so this was confusing. She's saying elven arrows. So supposedly she can do something with elven arrows. So I think she's carrying them.
I think you'll need to find some
And she's
arrows
telling me
first.
you'll have to find
Only
some.
elven ones will work for this.
So I'm really confused.
I don't think you can ever be ready to kill your parent.
And we double check with her. Are you ready to do this?
Think of him as my father.
And it's best not to think of him as my father. True.
We've got enough to worry about right now. You stay focused. And I'll worry
Okay,
about
we can do that. So, I was a little bit confused here.
Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid of. If you
And so
want
I
to
did
do
not
that,
mean to
I'll
click on
stop
wait
you,
here.
but I'll be following.
And I'm really grateful that she won't leave you at
Alright,
this
let's see what
point.
you have.
So what I'm doing is seeing what does she have. So she has those sun-hollowed elven arrows. So I took them back. I did not know if she has already done something with
I think you
them.
need to find some arrows
So
first.
maybe those already have done some. She's already put her blood on them. I don't know. I was very confused here. I don't even know where you'd find more of those arrows if you didn't have any. So there they are right there. I have 12. Causes sunburst attacks nearby targets as if you shot at the sun at them. So I was really thought that she needed to treat the ones that I currently have.
Only elven ones will work
But
for
it
this
looks like they already are. I guess you would have to find more, and then if you had them in your inventory, she would treat them. So I don't know where you would get more of them, and I didn't look it up. I just thought maybe we've got enough to go on here. And I've got the bow, does 20 points of some damage, so we've got what we need to do what we need to do. At least I think we do. I wanted to give a plug here that I am not a professional sound engineer like my son is. I live on a lake, and when the weather's good, the doors are open and you can hear boats going by. You might hear people, children in particular, screaming with glee, and I refuse to get the software and the skills necessary to reduce that background noise. So I'll try to make it minimal as possible, but just know that it will happen sometimes. I also have 2 long hair Siamese cats. That's a Balinese cat, and they are very needy. And if I don't give them enough attention, they will start yelling at me. So I apologize for them too, but I'm not going to go back and fix that. So I do apologize. I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to be as professional as I can with my channel. So for instance, I sent my husband off golfing so the house was quieter. So anyway, this is me being me, and I hope that you're okay with that. And I hope that I'm going to give a plug here. I hope that you do subscribe to my channel if you have not. Subscriptions on channels are very important. And my first goal is to hit 100. As of right today, I have not. So please subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost anything. It's just you putting that in your subscription feed. So I would appreciate doing that. I subscribe to people's channel all the time just to help them out. And I also appreciate a like on my video if you like it. Don't like it if you don't, but don't give it a down like if you don't, because that would hurt my feelings. But if you like my content, please like it. And I also have a Patreon account if you want to help me, and that will help me continue to do what I'm doing. I appreciate that. So what I did is I went back to this general guy, and I'm checking for glass, which he had. I will also be checking for straw. He didn't have any, so I need to remind myself to these general, to look for these general merchants so that I can buy the glass and straw. I don't know if I need more straw. I'm not sure. So again, it's interesting to see when you go back. He had those spikes that those staves that I sold him. So, and I also wanted to. She had that spikes that I had sold her. I thought that was amusing. And it looks like she does not carry glass, or at least she didn't have any this day. I did go ahead and pick up the straw that she had. And as we continue on here and get past this particular quest line, we're going to be double checking these merchants closer to make sure that we have the glass and straw that we need to continue building our house, because I would like to finish it and stop talking about it. I'm sure you would really like that. This is a pawnbroker, and I wasn't sure if I've been here to see this guy before, but I wasn't sure if he had glass and straw. And so I thought, you know what, while we're here, I clicked weapons and it went, you see what happened? Why does that happen? Does anybody know why that happens? I also wanted to check and see if he had any of those elven arrows, and it looks like he doesn't. And so I was just taking a quick look here to see, you know, what does he have? Because I've only been to this guy. I hit miscellaneous and it went back to the main menu. How annoying can it be? And he had glass. So pawnbrokers have glass too. He also had goat horns. We need the goat horns to make the the lighting, the chandelier, and he had straw. So this guy was a really good resource for materials that we need for continuing to build our house. So anyway, I was just taking a quick look. Do I have anything else that I can sell that I don't need? And not really is the answer to the question. And so it's like, let's go out. So that was a good stop by. I'm glad I did that. Picked up glass. So we were here. We picked up glass and straw, and we needed those items. So that was a good stop. And then I thought, you know what? While we're here, wouldn't it be nice if we could find a couple of children that need a home? Now this little girl that's back here, first I think we have to talk to her, Constance, and how we asked if you can adopt, and she said sure.
Yes, of course.
What a wonderful surprise. So she's totally forgotten that we killed the nasty lady. Oh, she has to ask questions. Okay, that's reasonable. I can give her my name. Lots of answers here we can give her, and I don't know what it would say depending upon what we chose. I just picked Dragonborn.
Sure, you're serious. Well,
Well, all right then.
Where will your
your child be living?
And where will they be living? I thought it was interesting because I own that little house
That's all
there
I need from
in
you.
Riften,
Congratulations.
but technically I guess it is Baltimore's house, so that's my only house.
Go meet the children and decide who you'd
And
like
so
to
once we
adopt.
get through
Once
the
you make a decision,
the paperwork on the adoption
be sure to
situation,
make it over to your house.
you go get to pick your children. And you can pick from any, there's children here, there are children in the towns that you could choose. I just chose to come here. This girl had talked about dead people, and she was kind of, had some creepy comments that she made when we first were here visiting, but I thought, oh, come on. She's cute, little Runa.
You want to adopt one of us, right? I'm strong, I'm fast,
And I did want to get one boy and one girl. I don't know why. I guess because I find boy and girl things in my travels.
Really?
And so, yes,
Are you sure?
absolutely sure. So now we have a daughter named Runa,
Thanks, Mama.
and she's going to be the best daughter ever. Isn't that cute? So this poor little orphan girl has a home now. So then we got all these boys to choose from.
Really? Oh,
And,
wow.
you know, I don't know that
Adopt one of us?
any of them do anything differently. What I was looking for, and look at this. That's a Ventus Arentio. He's the one that wanted us to kill that nasty woman. I almost adopted him. But him doing the Black Sacrament, it was kind of creeping me out. So, I don't know. I guess I could have tried, but there's another little boy here that I had seen that I thought might make a good son. I love bugs. This little guy.
I used to hate it here. But
Tell
it's
me
not
about
so bad
yourself.
anymore. I'm
He said I
bored.
used to hate it
You know,
here,
like
but
the
you
sound the
know,
lion makes. That's what my mother used to say.
so he's so
wanna
cute.
be big and
Rawr.
strong like
He said that's his name. That's the sound a lion makes. And I just thought, I don't know, I just thought he was
Are
kind of
you- are you
cute.
sure?
And I don't know which ones I've adopted in the past, and I don't know if they do different things, but I decided he would be my new son. And he calls me Ma. I hate that in real life, but you know, so right now I have adopted 2 children, and I went ahead and saved.
Just let me
And
get my
so
things and say goodbye to everyone. I'll meet
he
you at
says I'll meet you at your home. So the kids will come to the house on their own somehow, one way or the other. Hopefully they won't traverse the dangerous land to get to my house. So this is something I'd been working towards, to create a house and put a bedroom in the house, put the beds in the house, and adopt 2 children from an orphanage, giving them a permanent home. So they will now be at my house too. So eventually we are going to add the steward and someone to sing them songs. So we'll get to that soon, hopefully. But right now we are on a mission. We need to go kick down a castle door. Where's she at? There she is. I was looking around to make sure Serana was still with me. It's like, okay, girl, let's go. We got a vampire to kill. Multiple vampires to kill. And quite a ways to go to get there. We are all on the, if you're looking at the map, we are on the very far south eastern side of the map, and we need to go to the very far north, almost to the far western side of the map. So we got quite a long ways to go. I will be putting chapter markings in the descriptions so that you can skip over things if you want, so that you don't have to be tortured. Look at this. Look at this. We're getting attacked by all these bandits. Where the heck did they come from? It's like, you stand over there by that horse, it's going to explode. And I'll take care of some of these other ones. I don't remember us being attacked by these bandits before through here. Because they decided to take up residence. And we're going to decide to evict them. So, take that. Well, they kind of got me. There must have been a bunch of them. Oh, and she resurrected one. Serana! Look at that guard. That was a guard from up the way had come down and to help us out. So that was quite a distance for him to come down here. I don't know why that happened, or why he followed us down here. So anyway, get our spells back and check out and see if these bandits got anything of use. Lockpicks. Always need lockpicks. Seems like I use quite a few sometimes. So my lockpicking skill is not the best, and so we use quite a few as we're increasing it. Yeah, I didn't really have much. A little bit of gold. Daggone bandits. Ugh. That's a humanoid. If she, any humanoid type creature that she resurrects, they moan like it's zombies. And it's like, oh my gosh. Serana, I love you to death. However, wish we wouldn't do that. Not going to change it in the console. Because every once in a while, she will resurrect something or someone and it cracks me up. So it's worth it for me to complain about it, to have her do it every once in a while. So eventually you're going to have to kill us some large deer, some large elk to get some large antlers. So that's eventual. And hopefully soon I'll make a list so that we don't kill more than we need. Because I don't recall at this present moment. Just making sure she was with me. And we'll sprint a little while. Running down our stamina. Uh-oh. Is that a bear? A big bear. I'm gonna get the big bear. I want him chasing me. Ouch. Ouch. So this is a cave bear, and I hit him, and the force exploded on him, and he still had a lot of health, and she's been hitting him, so he had a lot of health. I didn't remember bears having that much health. Now there's something funny that just happened. Also, I wasn't sure if we needed that stuff or not. Look at that. She killed, or the bear, it looks like the bear had killed an elk. Serana resurrected an elk. Well, a deer, I'm sorry, it's a deer. So I wasn't sure if it would have those large antlers that we need. So I stood here for a minute. I was hoping that, like all her followers, they die or whatever. They kind of go into a pile of ash. So I was hoping if I stood here long enough that that would happen. I thought maybe I could click on it. It had an E, which is the key, the computer key. So I kept waiting for it to disintegrate into ash. It's like, come on, please. So I don't have to kill a deer. I suppose I could have killed, I don't know, I guess I can kill her followers. I gave up. It's like, it's okay. We'll eventually find them. Let's stop wasting time. I just thought it was an easy way to get some antlers. But undoubtedly, as soon as I walked away, it probably did that. I just don't like killing deers or rabbits or goats if I don't have to. So I can buy goat horns so I don't have to kill goats. But anyway, that's just a thing. No, I don't like killing non-aggressive creatures. I would kill skeevers. It's a waste of time. And I would kill those big rats and things. I don't know. I have weird rules for myself that probably makes absolutely no sense to anyone else. I'm sure you have rules for yourself that makes absolutely no sense to anyone else. So I really do like watching other people's playthroughs just because it's so different than my own. And I find out things. I learn things that I didn't know. Just because it's not my playstyle doesn't mean I can't learn something, right? So I'm kind of looking here and saying, all right, where are we going? I know I'm going all the way up there. Do I want to stop by the house? Because I did get some more glass and straw. And in theory, my kids should be there. I don't know if they run that. I don't know how they get there. I don't know if they kind of appear or if they actually traverse the land. I don't know. Some of these, whenever, like when we were going for the two vampire hunters to help us, they walked. So again, I even said, and I think I made a comment in the video, I didn't know if I had immediately fast traveled there. What's a wolf? Okay. I didn't know if we fast traveled there, if those two followers would have just showed up. I don't know. It looked like they were walking to me, so I don't know about the children. I don't know what they would do. So, anyway, let's get on with it.
Teamwork right there.
I like it when she's teamwork right there. Got that right. In that particular case, I didn't do diddly squat, and some poor guy walking by helped her out. So, oh no. It is a bear. After what we just saw happen. Dang. Bears are tough. Look at him. He hurt poor Serena. I mean, she's bent over in pain. So let's help her out there. But my goodness, those things are tough. I hope she toughens up as I mean, I'm pretty sure she will. As our levels go up, her levels go up too. And we've had her since level 10, I think. I think it was level 10. So I'm pretty confident that her level goes up with my level now. So she'll get tougher. And we may or may not get her some better armor. I don't know. I was reading about this a couple of days ago that, her armor has ratings, but unless you give her armor that has higher stats and stuff, she won't change into it. So, and also, if the only time she has a hood on is when she's wearing the current default armor that she has. It's like, oh my gosh, 3 of these daggone wolves. But I like it that she puts her hood up because that makes sense for a vampire. So, and I think at some point we can even try to have her not be a vampire anymore. And I don't know if there's an advantage or disadvantage to doing that. If you know of advantages or disadvantages of having Serena not be a vampire, I'd appreciate comments below. I'd really like your input on that. I know that in my last couple playthroughs, when I've gotten to almost this exact level, I'd never had her not be a vampire, so I don't know if there'd be any reason, if it lowers anything, raises anything, I don't know. But her red eyes are neither here nor there for me. I don't care. So would she stop talking about the bright sun? I don't know. I'm just curious on your take on that. So input, please. I would appreciate that. So I can make some decisions in the future regarding Serena, who I intend to keep. I like her. So we will keep her. She's our girl. So a couple of ladies traversing the countryside saving the world. That's pretty cool in my opinion. Being one of those ladies. So anyway, I'm just rambling on as we are wandering along here. Just random thoughts pop into my head. You can see that blue marker on my compass. That's my house. So I like to have that on there all the time because it makes the house easier to see. So I always know the direction of it, even if I'm not too close to it, because once you have to get close to it for it to show up on your compass. And I like having it on there all the time so that if I'm coming to it and it's not close enough to show up on my compass, I have it on there. So I do stop by almost every time I get close to it. I will stop by my house. So just kind of a heads up for those of you that are following along for the first time. But I will put a marker, I mean not a marker, I put chapter markings in my description so that you can skip past it if you choose. So, I mean, I'm building it. I like stopping by and talking to my family that I'm creating. And pretty soon here I'll get a steward, which it's my understanding that I have to dismiss Serena and then get the steward and then go find her again. And supposedly there was a problem where if you dismissed her you couldn't get her back, but I think I read that the unofficial patch fixed that you could get her back. So I'm not sure the order of things. I don't know which steward to get. I don't know if it matters. I think Lydia, I think I had her as a steward one time, and I liked her because she was a very good fighter, so she could help out when the giant showed up at the house and protect the kids, etc. So I don't know. I'm not sure who to have. If you have any input on who you think is a good steward, I appreciate comments down below. I originally had thought that I would get Mercurio as a steward, but I think I read somewhere that if you had Mercurio as a follower, you couldn't go back and get him as a steward after you had dismissed him. So I suppose I could go back to Riften next time I'm there and find out. So again, what I think I have to do is dismiss Serana and go get my steward and then go back and get her. Who's that? There's somebody attacking an orc. Who are you and why are you attacking us?
Where'd you come from?
Let's let the horse explode first. And the orc's still alive. Nope, the orc is dead. Yes, that was teamwork. You, me, and your horse. It's like, who are you and why did you attack me? Didn't really have anything. Bunch of junk. So, okay. I guess for you, you died for nothing, dude. Anyway. What I may end up doing, and I've done this before, when I switched, when I wanted to get a steward and I knew we had to dismiss your follower, blah, blah, blah. What I may end up doing is taking Serana back to Fort Dawnguard, dismiss her there, because I think that's where she goes back to when you do that. And then I think I will, off screen, fast travel to whichever steward that I'm going to pick up that steward, fast travel to my house, leave the steward at my house, fast travel back to Serana and pick her back up. That is what I think I should do. I think that's the way I did it the last time that I had a steward. And it worked okay. That way I didn't get somebody lost where you got to go find them and stuff. And I don't like to fast travel. But I don't like the mechanics of the game that forces me to do that. So that's my workaround. That's what I'm thinking. So if you have a better way of doing it, let me know in the comments below. But that's what I'm thinking that I will do. And it's not going to be very much longer that I'll do that. So once I decide who my steward is going to be, then I will try that and see if it works. And of course save just before, because I obviously don't want to screw up everything, but I really want to get a steward at the house. And I think I can use that steward to go hire the minstrel to play music and stuff, which I think is just cool. So at that point I will have a family. As you can see, I'm coming up on Helgen. As you can see, I can go around the outside of Helgen. Is that annoying? Is that a bug? Is that just me? Am I coming from a different direction? Someone please tell me why that keeps happening. So, it's getting to be nighttime, and we're kind of getting close to our house. And we've got a few things that we can use to continue building a little bit, and we should have some little kitties here if they fast traveled or somehow magically got transported to our home. And again, that's all immersion purposes. They have no other use that I'm aware of. I mean, you can, I think, no, I take that back. There is, I think when I sleep here next, you get some kind of a buff from having children. It's mother's love, I think it's called. I don't, if you're a male, I guess it's father's love. I don't know what it would be called. It's like, okay, don't get lost. There's benefits to having children in the house and sleeping in the house. So you get the lover's comfort and a mother's love, and those are two buffs that you get from sleeping in your house. So if I can go ahead and finish my whatever I'm going to do at the house, then the last thing I do before I leave the house is sleep. Then I get those really nice benefits that are cool to have. Plus, again, immersion. You know, I like having a family here. It gives me a reason to continue to fight on. That's the way I look at it anyway. And I always put my horse in the corner over here. There's generally not, if there's wolves or bandits or the giants that show up, are generally not on this side of the house. So that's why I put them there. I may build a stable. Oh yes. So right here is the stone quarry, and you can see me speeding through. I knew I needed some quarried stone, so I went ahead and got some, and I sped it up so that you didn't have to suffer through me very painstakingly mining for the stone. So I'll do that anytime I need it. I don't know how much more we'll need, but we did need some. So anyway, that was my purpose for doing that. And thank you, Serana, for standing by, keeping everybody safe while we did it. So go ahead and pop into the house, And everything's quiet. Everyone's quiet. And so I just grab everything. Oh, and looky there. Runa comes up. Hi, Runa.
I know it's
How
not
are you,
much.
sweetheart?
I found a few pretty things.
Aw.
They're in the chest in my room.
She found some pretty
If you
things.
see
They're in her
anything you like,
room.
Please, take it.
And she says you can
There's
take
so
it.
much
She does.
for me.
Oh, that's sweet. She's leaving me things in her
It's the
room.
least I can do.
So it's like, sweetie, I've got something for you.
What is it? What is it?
And because I had all that stuff in that chest that was for the kids, one of them was a doll. And it looks like a wooden sword is something that I can give one of them or both of them. So I need to keep an eye out for a second wooden sword, because I want to be sure and give one to each of the kids. So we're going to check these workbenches to see what we can build. And a couple more wall scones. And as it turns out, there's going to be one right here by my head, I think. Yep, perfect. So that's awesome. Gives us some extra light in there. So that's what we need the goat horns for. And so this room ended up with 4 lights in it. So that's great. And I know we need more, but we'll find them here. Now, if I could remember, I don't need that one. Why am I checking it? Because I keep forgetting. Eventually, we'll end up making that list and find out which creatures we need. I know there was some more stuff that we needed to build in the kitchen, and I know there's more stuff we need to do in the basement. And I think there's stuff in the back room. That's our trophy room.
Yes, love?
And while I was at it, I thought, you know what? Let's pick up some, if he's got any iron ingots, and he doesn't have any. He hasn't reset. He did have those steel ingots, and I forgot to grab them. We needed steel ingots for something in the basement. So we'll have to remember to go back and get that. So this is one room that we had some stuff to build. One of the things was an oven, and we needed the quarried stone for it. So, and we obviously, that's all we're going to have left in here. So now we built a lovely oven in this kitchen that Balaman can use to cook in when he wants to cook stuff. And we can ask him to cook stuff for us as well. We do also have things to build over in this garden room. You could plant all kinds of stuff in here. You can plant ingredients, and it'll grow things for you. So we still need nails, iron fittings
Yes, love?
that I need to go make. We have stuff for a display case, so that's great. And we need nails
Yes, love?
and miscellaneous. We still need some iron fittings, goat hides for the other stuff.
Yes, love?
So that's all we can do in there for now. And that room looks really cool when you get it all done and you start planning stuff. And that's really for alchemy, if you're going to be getting into alchemy. And I got to find out which potions that I would want to make. So anyway, I came back and decided to go ahead and make those things. I'm running out of ingots. You can see I'm down to 9. I'm going to get down to nothing here. And Balaman didn't have any more. So, because I had bought all that he had, I think, when I was there before. And I don't know when he resets. So, I might want to pick up some more just in case, because I don't want to, I'd hate to stop my building just because that I'm out of iron ingots. If you haven't watched any of my previous episodes, or you haven't watched all of them, before I built this house, I did not buy a single iron ingot. I found iron ore everywhere I could find it, and I saved up so that I was able to build the entire outside structure, all the additions, with ore that I had found and mined myself. So I felt pretty good about that it didn't cost me anything to do that, because otherwise you got to buy the ore. So I didn't start buying ore until I was working on the inside of the house, where you could see I needed so much more. Every single thing you see here practically has nails in it. And there's hinges, and there's fittings, and there's locks, and all those things needed ore. Ingots. So eventually I started buying some, and I certainly want to buy them. Like you can see right here, I'm down to just some Look at this, all these display tables and things. So really I'm getting close. I'm getting very close to at least having the main part of, the house done. I've got a lot of work to do in the basement. And I haven't even started on the iron fittings and nails. I haven't even started on the trophy room. The trophy room has different bases that you can pretty much build, create trophies of the things that you want to display, the creatures that you want to show, like hunters display, have their creature, their things that they shoot, like there's antlers there on the wall. So you can choose what you want to display. One of the displays can be a dragon head, I think. So there's a lot of things that you can do, and I haven't even started on it because I haven't decided what I want to have there. So, if it's a particular creature that you're very proud of the fact you're able to kill it, you could have it up on the wall. You can see here I'm low on iron fittings, hinges. There's the ingots that I should have bought. I'm going to have to make a few more locks. Here's these fish tanks that were part of the anniversary edition spill over into the special edition. So I just think it's really interesting. I like them, and that room is kind of cool. As you can see, I've got some animal heads still that I need to get. So there's lots of things still to be done. I'm almost to the point of where I should start making my list. I'm just, I'm getting closer, I should say. And I only had a couple more, so it's like, well, we're getting close to where we need to stop building for the day, but things are looking pretty nice. I just love this house. It's very homey to me. I like the way it looks and feels, and I love it that when in my head, in my mind's eye, every stone, every log, every wall, everything, I did it myself, and so it's looking pretty good. And you can take off some of these things that you don't want. You can dump bags. Oh yeah,
Good to see you.
I needed to double check with Balaman. I wanted to see if he had any more. I remember the steel ingots, but I wanted to see if he had any more iron ingots, and he didn't. So I woke him up. Sorry, guy. That wasn't very nice of me. But I wanted to get as much done as I could before I left again, since I had stopped and gotten all that glass and straw and other things. And it's interesting, Serana just hung out downstairs. I feel really bad that I meant to, instead of having that garden room, I meant to add the extra bedrooms, because your steward and your other people in your house would sleep in those beds if you had that. Well, I tried to undo building the garden, and you can't undo it. So I kind of felt bad about that. As you can see, I'm just hinges, and some iron fittings. I'm just kind of making a mental note of things. I gotta get more ingots, but there was something, I forget what it was, that I needed. I don't know. I got lost and distracted. But as you can see, it's coming along. It's looking nice. And I was really determined I need one more. One more. So it's really, it's a really, I don't know, I love this house. What I started to say is that you can remove some of the stuff that you don't want on the shelves and put things that you might want to put on the shelves. There's lots of storage area. I mean, there's like satchels next to those, the alchemy table and the enchanting table. There's bags. So there's tons of storage that you have when you're done. And I can move things around once I get my building done. Right now I'm putting anything that's building materials, or things I'm going to display or whatever. These kids things, I'm going to probably leave them out here because the kids come. And I picked up a bucket by mistake. It was an accident. So I'll leave them out here until I figure out for sure where I want to put the things that I give the children as gifts. I mean, right now I've got plenty because I'd been picking them up since the beginning, because I knew that I was going to get children. So I'd been picking them up, and this is where I'm keeping them. So that's things that I had picked up so far. So I don't know about the different color of clothing. I don't know if they changed their clothes. I really don't know. I never paid enough attention. I suppose I should, instead of wasting my time of picking those things up if they're not going to use them. And so I don't know. I don't know some of the behaviors. Putting away the flawless items that I had, and I know some of that was a quest thing for Odessi, but I don't know when I'm going to find flawless sapphires. I mean, it was really a challenge to find the one that I did so that I could create the whichever one of the shrines that I created from it, which I found that to be a huge thing, because I had never in 11 years of playing Skyrim have I found a flawless sapphire. So I appreciate someone that mentioned where to get. They mentioned one. I mentioned a couple, I guess, and I just happened to be going to an area that had it, so I was very excited about that, and that was a big deal. So anyway, I'm putting away my building supplies in this chest, and this is going to say Modessi. I was like, I'm not going to see. I kept it, and I shouldn't have kept it in my bag, because I should put that away, because it's going to be a while until I find the other 2 flawless sapphires that they want. So hang on there, Modessi. It'll happen eventually, maybe. So anyway, trying to get rid of all this stuff to get my weight down. I'm currently still overweight, but I have an awful lot of building materials on me. I have a 99 quarried stone. Hopefully I won't need to quarry anymore, but you never know. So that was a bunch of the weight that I had. So lots of things to still put away. And look, we're up to 34,000 gold now. That's good. But I'm going to hang on to it for a while. I don't have any interest in buying another house at this time. And I don't know which one I would if I did. I know that I think it's, is it Windhelm, that has a quest to get a house. I'm thinking, I can't remember. And it doesn't cost much. And I may end up doing that one next. I like having places to stay in strategic locations if I'm going to do multiple houses, but I'm not going to deck them out. I'm not going to store things there. That's a problem I always had in Oblivion, because the first house you get is a Frostcrag Spire, I think it's called, which is a really great for Magicka, a magic user, because it has, look at that, it's midnight, so it does have a lot, but it's so far away from everything, and I don't fast travel. It's super inconvenient to use it for that. And so it's like, I'd have stuff in one place and stuff in another. Yeah, there it is. Mother's love and lover's comfort. Those 2 things. I'm trying to look and see which one you get. Keep going. Blessing of Mara. 15% for 8 hours for that. And healing spells and potions restore 25% more health for 8 hours. So that's awesome. It's going to take less of my Magicka to heal myself because of my mother's love for the next 8 hours in in-game hours. So that's awesome. And it's morning. And it's snowing. Ugh. And it's time for us to take off. We got a big quest to go to today. We're going to go knock down Serena's father's front door, as she said. And apparently Ariel's bow plays into that. That's why we needed it, according to the Moth Priest and Isran. So I have everything we need to, in theory, I think it finishes this quest line, but honestly I don't know. I hadn't played much further past what we're getting ready to do, so I don't know if you get called back from Isran. I don't know. I don't have any idea. So I'm getting into territory that I really don't know yet, and that's okay. I'm kind of excited about things that I don't know yet, that I haven't experienced yet, and I know there's a lot of quests that we'll be coming up here, and I had done some of the stuff in the Markarth area previously, but in all honesty, it's been many years and I don't remember it at all. And so it'll be kind of new for me, and I'm excited about that. There's our sawmill. And we picked up the lumber for our house that we built. When you first build your house, that's the only thing you have to buy is the lumber. At least I think you have to buy it. I don't think you can do it for free. But I did it on a dime. You know, I think I paid $5,000 for the land, and then the wood and everything else we found or did it. I mined it ourselves up to a certain point. So, just like I said, it makes me feel a more immersion feeling. I feel like that I created a place in the world for my own, and then later on, when we're super wealthy, we'll buy some more houses for the sheer purpose of having a place to sleep, which is kind of wasteful, but at the same time, as I've said, and I've heard someone else agree with my comment, what else are you going to do with your gold? Aside from enchanting, what else do you use it for? The answer is nothing that I'm aware of. But you know what? I haven't gotten any much further than this, so we'll kind of find out together. So on we go. Sprinting along when we can, and not hopefully getting lost. So it's like, okay, take a right. Take a right at the T. And we're going to go through Dragon Bridge. As you can see, we have not been coming across very many dragons. If you know that the reason is because I haven't met Delphine again, if that's the reason, let me know. It's not that I'm wanting more dragons, it's just curious to me that I haven't seen very many. I really think in previous playthroughs I must have gone a little bit further because I thought I remembered seeing a heck of a lot more dragons, and I really haven't. So if you fast travel, you won't see very many dragons, but look at us traversing back and forth across the country multiple times over the past few episodes, and nothing. So, curious to me. And I can take them on because I'm playing on very easy mode. And I've got good staff, got good magic, and I've got Serana doing magic, so we can take them down, no problem. They don't kill us. There's that giant. Hello, Mr. Giant. So I wonder if I take him out, if he'll respawn. Someone let me know that. If so, I'll take the time and try to kill him. From very, very far away. But if he won't respawn, especially, then I don't need anything from the dragon. I think I can do a trophy. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can do a trophy. I think his toe is an ingredient in making a potion. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked to see what potions I could make, and the only potions I use really are increase health, or restore health, restore magicka, and cure disease. That's really the only potions that I've used. There's, I think, one that increases your carry limit, but unless you've got enough of those to get you somewhere, I'm not sure. I think I have one of those potions on me. I think I also might have water breathing, in case I ended up getting in a water area that I need to be down extended. But honestly, I don't remember, at least to this point in Skyrim, where you need to be underwater for an extended period of time. I usually dive into the water if I see some, just because you never know, there could be a chest or something down there. But I'm not sure if that would be something necessary. So I don't know. I'll have to look at the various potions that I can make and see which ones that would be useful to me, and decide if I'm going to do that or not. I mean, so far I'm finding more than enough potions. I haven't bought. The only potions I've bought are the cure disease potions, because I didn't have any, or I ran out, and I knew that we were going to start coming across vampires, and I wanted to cure my vampirism as soon as I found out I had it. So that's the only one that I may have to make myself, and I need to find out how to make it. I can keep buying them, but since I've got a a potion maker right there in my house, it makes sense to make it myself if I can. And I don't know if I can. I haven't tried. So here we are coming through Robber's Gorge again. These daggone rocks that tick me off. I bumped into it. No matter how hard I try, I bump into it. So it's just an annoyance. I think it's interesting, these guys hanging out along the side of the road drinking and talking about how they'd rather have booze than women. I think they're having a little too much. It's funny because they're different places. I think there were some down near Riften and here's some up here. Standing along the road drinking. And why don't you guys go check out that dragon down there? Since you don't seem to have anything else to do. Yeah, my direction here is to go through Dragon Bridge, and then I think we could cut up north from there. Yeah, so that's what my plan is. I don't think Dragon Bridge town proper has any places to sell stuff, I'm pretty sure. And not that I have anything I want to sell, it's just kind of a wasted area. It's like you could sleep there. I think there's an inn. Hello, Serana and your visible horse. So we're getting closer to our destination. I'm going to try not to make it painful this time for getting to it. I have struggled getting there. Hopefully in the future we won't have to go back too many more times. Once we, I wanted to see, do I go left or right? And the answer is left. Once we do whatever we're going to do with Serena's father, then we would have to come back and to deal with her mother. Her mother said she would leave the Soul Cairn if her husband was dead. So one of the things we can do if we want is go back to the Soul Cairn, and we had some unfinished quests down there. So if we want, we can go back and finish some of those. So not sure what we're going to do after we get rid of her father. We'll have to make some decisions. We have lots of things we could do, but that's one thing that we could do is go back and get her mother. And when the only other time that I've finished that part of the Dawnguard quest line, I never went back for her. So I don't know, maybe it'd be nice to get those like those Jib's papers. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you that when I loaded up Morrowind after I purchased it and got interested in for a day or two, the very first person that I came across was Jib. He does something, he helps you get started. I think he asks you your questions as far as who you are and getting you registered in the land or whatever. And it was funny to see his name on the screen after I had met with him under the Soul Cairn, and he's dead. So that was really, really interesting. I love how they cross the lore between the games and those little, it wouldn't mean much if you hadn't played it, but if you had, it's like, I know who you are. And he even talks about the land of Morrowind and what he had done. And it's like we're getting attacked here by a bunch of bandits who are very short for this world. So how many of them are still alive after that? All dead. Thank you very much. Anyway, I just thought to me it was very amusing. It's like, Jib, your future is not what you think it's going to be. So maybe we'll go back and see him and help him find the last pages of his writings that he was doing. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. And I haven't played past this next part. As of this recording, I have not played any more past this next part. So we'll have to decide. I'll have to think about it. So it's like, come on, girl, let's get going. And bring your weird dead bandit with you. So. Wouldn't it be confusing if I resurrected things and then we had multiple dead things following us around of what we just killed? That would be annoying. Very annoying and confusing. I'd be trying to kill all kinds of things I shouldn't kill. Oh, come on. Seriously? I don't have time for wolves right now. I need to figure out the best way to get where I'm going. Oh, you guys take care of it. I'm busy. We're on a mission. So I know I need to go past this little area here because that goes down somewhere I don't want to go. But if we go past it, then we can find a place to go down this mountainside. And because I don't know any other way, it's just like we go down the mountainside. We just go very slowly. If you walk instead of run or trot or whatever, you can get down a mountainside without dying. At least to my experience, that's been the case. So that's why I'm slow walking. Because if you go fast walk, you can either get yourself killed, kill your horse, or both. And I don't know any other way to get around there aside from going all the way down the end of this mountain range and coming around the other side. This seems to be the fastest, most direct route. And as you can see on my compass, my marker is saying go this way, so that's what we're going to do. And I did go ahead and do a little running just to make sure, but I didn't want to hurt anybody. Hopefully Serana is following us. I mentioned earlier about the noises. There's some very noisy birds outside my window today. They are very happy. We're having beautiful weather and they are celebrating that beautiful weather by talking to each other. So, sorry about that. Or you can pretend they are in Skyrim. There may be some very chirpy birds in Skyrim right now. Want to make sure Serana was with me. And I also thought that I had heard a Nern root, and I did. So I'm not, even though I've stored my Nern roots, I'm not going to stop collecting them. I'm going to keep collecting them, especially until I find out what they can be used for. And I don't know what they can be used for. So I just left my horse there because we're going to go to the end right here where this jetty is that'll get us across to the castle. And once we get there, in theory, the Dawn Guard will be standing outside. And let's do a little save there. The Dawn Guard will be standing there helping us ready to storm the castle. So that's what we're going to do next. So they're all standing around and it doesn't tell us to talk to anyone. It doesn't tell us anything. I guess we just need to go into the castle. So interesting characters. There's an armored troll with us. It's like, okay. And I have to admit that I had reloaded and I'm just not showing you that. I came up here the first time and I really wasn't paying very good attention. And I got probably half, if not more, of the Dawn Guard guys killed. So I reloaded so that I could do this a little bit better. It would be nice to have more than... look at these vampires attacking. Dudes. So I had decided to reload until I could come back and have more guys to have follow us. Because I mean, there was like almost everybody was dead. So I just did a quick reload and came back up and realized also I didn't need to be using Ariel's bow at that time, which I had with me. And so I just kind of redid part of it, but that's all. Yes, I know you don't like being outside. Do a little healing. She got herself hurt a little bit there. doing my part. Every once in a while, Mercurio used to say, "Is that a healing spell?" She doesn't say that. Necromantic healing. I also read that necromantic healing, if I healed her, I wouldn't need that. Well, what's the difference? I just don't know what the difference is. And when we kick the door down and come on inside here, there's already a fight going on. It's like, okay, I don't know who I need to kill and who I don't need to kill. Probably this person that's attacking me needs to be killed. No. These guys are tough. So this is one heck of a fight, and we're missing most of it. Keep in mind, I'm a terrible fighter. And I don't want to kill the bad guys, or good guys. I do want to kill the bad guys. And it's really, to me, it was hard to tell who was who, and I didn't want to get too involved. I let the rest of them take out everything, pretty much. That crazy troll guy. Really, I was trying to figure out where we're supposed to go. Because our focus is Serene, just die. So they are killing people. I don't know how many of the good guys died. Wasn't keeping track. I just trying to figure out where I needed to go and keep saving ahead. Somebody laying dead on the table there. And now it's time to pull out the bow, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what we need to kill her father with. I don't know if it's possible to kill him without that. I don't know the answer to that question.
Do you need something? I think you'll need to find some arrows first.
Again, I double checked, and so I still was confused about those arrows. I think I have just the 12 initial ones. I think I could have gotten more from somewhere. I don't know really where I could have got them from. So I was thinking, well, I just hope that we have enough to do what we need to do, which is to kill her father. These guys are all waiting on me. And I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to go? Obviously not that way. Aha, maybe through there. They're all kind of pointing me the way. Aha, we need to go in the cathedral.
Serana, my darling.
And when you
I
do,
see
all
you
heck
still
breaks
favor
loose.
keeping the pets.
You know why we're here.
Of course I do. You disappoint me, Serana. You've taken everything I provided for you and thrown it all away for this pathetic being.
Provided for me?
Yeah, he kind of is.
You've destroyed our family. You've killed other vampires all over some prophecy that we barely understand. No more. I'm done.
Hope you mean it,
Do
girlfriend.
not touch her.
So, I see this dragon has wings. Your voice drips with the venom of your mother's influence. How alike you've become.
No. Because unlike her, I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
She's become such a powerful, assertive person than when we first found her, remember?
Turning my daughter against me. I knew it was only a matter of time before she'd return with hatred in her heart.
Hey, you did this to yourself, dude.
A small price to pay for the betterment of our kind.
Huh. So giving up his daughter was a small price to pay. So yeah, dude.
What happens when you've slain me? Is Valerica...
No, actually, they will be fine.
Then my daughter is truly lost. She died the moment she accepted a mortal into her life.
What did you care? You never cared.
Yes, quite. I'm growing weary of speaking to you and my traitorous daughter.
So,
Give you a single chance to turn over the bow to me.
After what I went through to get this bow, I do not think so, mister.
Very well then. You leave me
So,
no choice.
I'm not a good fighter in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure that I have to shoot him with the bow, and I'm pretty sure I have to have the crosshairs on him to do it. And I missed him a number of times, and it's like, and he jumps around the room, he goes from one place to another. You can see he's getting hurt, and so am I. But he's got things that are chasing after me. You know, you can see he's moving, he's invisible. He's got things that are after me. I'm completely ignoring everything else that's hitting me and I shouldn't have killed a stupid skeleton with one of the 12 arrows that I walked into here with. I just am not fighting very well. I've never fought very well. I've never fought very smart. But, you know, when you're playing on very easy mode and you've got a pack full of potions, now that he's healing himself somehow also. But I can tell that those arrows are definitely hurting him. Don't hit Serena. So now where did he go? So that hurt him. I could tell that hurt him. But then he vanishes and goes somewhere else. And it's like, okay. Almost got it. And then I did one that was like going nowhere, and I gotta wait till whatever that red thing is away from him. And he's moving. He's on. Ugh. This was I just really am not a good fighter, and I'm doing a terrible job. But I have enough potions to keep me alive, and I've got fighters in here helping me, so I'm good so far. Gargoyle. Don't shoot the gargoyle. Let her take care of it. I can just ignore things as much as possible and keep after him. Ugh. See, I shot after the fact. He was already gone. He's going back to his pedestal. It's like he was behind a gargoyle, I think. Because Serena was fighting him on the other side. I have one arrow left. And that was just dumb. So now I don't have any arrows left. So now we're left with whatever else. So I didn't know what else to do because I didn't have any arrows left, and I didn't know if we could kill him with anything else. So I thought, well, let's just see what we got. Hopefully my other weapons will do the job. Oh, my enchanting keeps going up. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting. That button is right next to the escape key, the console button, and I hit it all the time. So I'll apologize, usually, if I think of it, because I'll keep doing that indefinitely. So I've got a fire spell, and I've got... Go away. And there he is. And he disappeared again. And I'm being backed into a corner, and Serena's doing the best she can. I've got a mission. I'm out for her father. And I just let him have everything that I had. He had one little health point left, but the problem is he keeps healing himself. And look at that, I almost died because I wasn't paying attention. Pay attention. He's one of your 5,000 minor healing potions. Where is he? See, I'm just completely ignoring them because I want him. And it looks like we got him. We got him. Your own father, like he was a father figure to her. I mean, he was so awful to her. Awful things he said to her. So we have completed the, look at his sword. Take about everything he has, I guess. So we've completed the Dawnguard questline as far as I know it. We're going to have a conversation here with Isran, but see, he's got some pretty good stuff, and I'm really going to have to go through this stuff and see if we want to use any of it. That's his royal vampire armor. I don't know. I'll double check it against the armor I'm wearing.
No,
And so whoever's left finally comes in, and Serena's talking to me now.
Sure. I'll probably stay with the Dawn Guard.
And so she's saying she'll stay with the Dawn Guard.
They're respectable fighters, and I think they see the benefits of having
And so she's completely against the vampires that would kill humans.
more adventures planned.
But then she says, "I'll stay with you if you want."
That's what
And
I
so we tell her, absolutely. So it looks like that going forward, if I would decided to use the bow, Ariel's bow, I could get elven arrows, and she would treat them so that they do some major damage. I don't see that happening. I really think that I'll probably display that bow somewhere. It's just too much of a major item for me to sell it. It's too important of an item for me to sell it. You can see here that Isran and Serana have a decent conversation, and he gives her the respect that she deserves, and she just is very straightforward with it needed to be done, that I don't need to talk about it. And he's like, you did more than, and he actually thanks her. So they have a very respectful conversation. So if I had chosen to not have Serana follow me, then she would have gone down to the Dawn Guard and hung out there, I guess. I don't know if there's any more quests after this part for the Dawn Guard DLC, because honestly I don't know. I've gone a little bit further into the game than this, but not much, and so I don't know if anything happens after that. And you don't have to tell me, we'll find out on our own one way or the other. So I think that what I'm going to do really is kind of really check out the castle and see if there's any extra or special loot that's in here that we can use. Double check our armor and make sure that we're both wearing the best armor that we can. And then we'll decide what to do. I don't know if we're going to go get Serena's mother right now. I haven't made any decisions at this point, other than I definitely want to make sure that we've picked up all the loot that we can. Oh, that's smart, looking at an empty chest. We just want to pick up everything that we possibly can, load ourselves up, and then decide on where we're going to go. I'm kind of looking around and looking at the dead guys that are in this room. You can see that Isran he's leaving. He's going back down to Fort Dawn Guard. We'll have to check, and I know there's a lot of dead Dawn Guard guys. Make sure there's nothing, good weapons or anything that they have. I always try to give Serena the best sword or whatever weapon that I could find, and I need to double check to make sure that they are the best. I want to thank you so much for following me along with this journey. I hope you will continue. Please be sure and subscribe to my channel and give my video a like if you like what I'm doing. And I also have a Patreon account, and if you want to help out with that, would be just great. So thank you again, and most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.